before I continue making more videos about like the fandom versus canon rants and stuff, I would like to mention something. Well, talk about stereotyping and stuff, since I didn't mention that on the Hinata video, and how I said I was going to get to it. I'm going to talk about stereotyping and kind of like one personality stuff in this video. So, to start off with, there's the one personalities where people try giving Haikyuu characters in many different fandoms, but Haikyuu is the main one where I see it in because that's the main ones I watch. So they tend to give Haikyuu characters a single personality or like one personality trait to stick to and stuff. This usually over-exaggerates one part of the personality, and stereotyping also works with the way that they just use that and think that's how they act, just because of certain personalities or literally like one scene, if even. For example, with the Hinata thing, I think most people get the idea that Hinata's innocent because of the scene where he's basically arguing with Kayama about like Kayama saying shit while Hinata tells him to say poopy and stuff. So that might be what people get him as innocent, or just because he's short. But Kayama's in here, as in everyone's personality, does not go based off one scene, which a lot of fans tend to put it as though. Like, one example, one thing that really annoys me when I try watching certain ship videos, there's one girl, she goes for Saku Atsu. Since still not only in season 4, there's obviously not a lot we know about them beforehand, or maybe not even get that built into personalities. So we're going based off of like a couple of scenes and stuff. But even so, with how people tend to make them act, doesn't fully make sense with how it's set their personalities to be. And it annoys me because that ship, I do tend to like it and all when it's actually wholesome. Because lots of people tend to make it actually very toxic. Because they put people at one personality or stereotypes. Sakushi they stereotype as a germaphobe. And how they stereotype germaphobe is hate germs, which that's parts too. But like, despises them and all, don't touch people, has to be clean constantly. Which, it depends on how much of the germophobia he has. But from my little headcanon, or just my idea with it, is that since he does play volleyball and stuff, it definitely isn't as high as people make it, because he obviously can talk to people and be on team and all. He's just antisocial a lot, asocial a lot, and the stuff like that and all. But he also shown to talk to Kayama perfectly fine and stuff, and just asking him actual questions and stuff. So people tend to make it he despises, seems like he despises Atsumu and literally everyone because of germs and won't talk to them or stuff like that. And with him dating Atsumu a lot and certain things and all, and him doing this, it makes it toxic. And then there was Atsumu's team and all, which I'm not good at pronouncing, so I don't want to say on camera. They tend to have it where the team hates him, especially Osamu, which again goes to stereotyping and over exaggerating stuff, and in one personality really, because I think they say they have the personality goes that way and all because Osamu and Atsumu are starting to be fighting a lot. But with how they're fighting and stuff, it seems more like in a sibling way, which would be tough love and all. And as someone who has siblings, I know what happens and stuff. Sometimes you can play fight, or you guys are kind of fighting and stuff, but not in a way that would be toxic. It's just fighting over something like that, having one of those squabbles or one of those arguments and turn into a little bit of fighting. That can be how siblings are sometimes. but there are a point where it's over exaggerated, and where the fandom makes it toxic in a way that it obviously makes them be toxic, which in the show now it's more sibling love while it's not toxic. In a way that they do actually care about each other, it's just they don't show it. Because that can be how a good amount of siblings are. Like even me with siblings and all, we tend to not show our care a lot of times, but we know it's there or not, and when we need to show it, we will. But it's more in a way, and this is just from my experience with me having siblings, and then also my friends with siblings. So even my friends who are twins and stuff, they can fight sometimes and stuff, but they do obviously care about each other and all, even hang out and stuff. It's not like they're constantly hating on each other or constantly fighting. It's just a mixture of stuff. And it's just how they show their care and all. It's kind of like how tough love is, but not in a toxic way of tough love, just actual tough love. Because when you need to actually show your care for each other and all, you will help out with stuff like that. So I understand why some people can put them overprotective of each other, because that tends to be how something can work as well. In a way that, like, I have one little sister, I have a little sibling and stuff. Something hurts her. I'm just like, okay, I can't. Like when it's someone, like she's really young and stuff. So when I was a little kid and I'm picking on her, I'm just like, come on, beat them up or something. Like, I was not out to get involved, but I was overprotective. And in a way that I just like to make sure no one I care about gets hurt. So, yeah, that makes sense. But in a way that people can make it toxic and all, and like full on hating on each other and stuff, and not even like any care for each other, that's where they're portraying it wrong. And this is all just portrayal of characters, and I'll get more into detail for like each character and stuff, like I said, because I'm not just going to make one for Hinata and then just not do the rest. But when it comes to how they can stereotypes and put in one personality, another great example of this would be Phantom Kemma. And like there's like two of them, two main ones I see, and both of them are annoying. And I kind of hate both of them. It's the way that he's evil, like a femboy, uwu, cat boy, which would be stereotyping, how people can stereotype gay people, which, yeah, that's where the stereotyping come in, and a little bit of fetishization. But there's also the big joke who ignores Kiro and stuff. Like, even one really loves him, like super loves him and stuff, and just would do anything for him in a way, and that usually goes into like sexual ways, which I don't want to talk about, at least not in this video. And then the other one is Kemma, is where he basically hates Kiro and ignores him and stuff, and only cares about Hinata. Now both ways don't betray him. Like, okay, yeah, he's an introvert. That's where the first one comes in, with them stuttering and stuff, being shy. He's just an introvert. He doesn't really like people and stuff. And that's really it. He's not like a shy uwu cat boy and all who won't do anything wrong. No. He does have anger issues and stuff like that. And he can be kind of mean sometimes. Depends on the person. But at the same time, that doesn't mean the other personality is any better. Because he does not hate Kiro. They are childhood best friends. If he really hated Kiro, he wouldn't have joined volleyball in the first place. Because in the first, we learned about Kemma and stuff. This is the only reason why he joined volleyball and really was in it for so long, was because of Kiro being his friend and stuff. So that shows that he does care about Kiro, at least a little bit. And probably wouldn't pick Hinata over him. Because, yeah, that's kind of how it works. If you have a childhood best friend and all, who you're still in really good touch with and all, and you meet someone for like a couple months and stuff and just get along with them, you probably won't choose the one you kind of, like, your good friend and stuff, and then best friend. There can be a difference, and both of them can be your best friend. But for my experience, I do have a similar situation with it. How I have a really good friend that I trust really much and stuff, who I met more recently, during this year and stuff. And then there's one that I knew for 5 years or so, who I'm really close with and all. I don't like choosing my friends over each other and stuff, but the one I definitely trust more is the one I knew longer, and the one who I probably talk to more is the one I knew longer. That's because I go based off time a lot of times, and how much I get along with someone can somewhat be considered and stuff. But with my best friend and all is the one I knew longer. My top best friend is the one I knew longer, because I knew her for so long, and because I'm really close to her. So, putting that in Cameron's point of view and all, yeah, he does have anger issues, but that doesn't mean he's an absolute jerk to everyone, and would ignore everyone for his games, especially Kiro. They get along pretty well. And another thing with Cameron and Kiro, they both tend to have two different fandom selves, which, for me, some of them go, you can mix them to make an actual personality for. It's because people seem to think that they have one, tend to put them as having one personality, which that's where they get it wrong. Because they have more than one personality. There's many traits, and that means that you can't exactly, of course you can't pinpoint each person's personality fully and stuff, and might not be able to show it in a video. But you should acknowledge it's there and not act like that part of the personality doesn't exist at all, and is not true at all. Because that also would be wrong when they do have that personality traits, but sometimes. And I understand these videos might be boring, but just hang in there, because this is something that I do think is important and all, as a part of most fandoms. Because, yeah, stereotyping, putting people in one personality doesn't work to actually represent a character. I understand if you say it's you and stuff, but if you're using a character, I would if you put a totally new personality on them and make the personality totally different than the actual person, just make it OC. You don't need to make it a character and all that is already real. Just make it an OC, original character, because that tends to be what's going on more. Because as you tell, with the fandom canon, you can separate them really clearly, what ones people who put it as foreign canon or try to make it as canon they say canon, and the people who just go with the fandom stereotypes. Because with the fandom characters, they tend to have really exaggerated personalities and stuff like that, and they tend to put, especially with Haikyuu and a good amount with My Hero Academia as well, those are the two main fandoms I see it for, is that they try to put one personality for the characters when they're really diverse, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into their personalities, and tends to just carry on to something that happened a while ago and stuff, and don't try to change it at all. And a good example would be Bakugo. They still have it. Well, I sometimes go with the idea, but obviously not all the time, and it doesn't always go well with it. But they try to have it still where Bakugo is full on bullying Deku and telling him to, off himself. Which, and people can do that and have him still bullying that badly or something, or still have it where he full on hates Deku and stuff. Even though in that show, with character development and stuff, Bakugo and Deku are always getting along more. And if you have it where basically none of the character development means anything, and basically any character development that's happened is just away and doesn't matter, you'll completely missing the point of some of the characters and showing how diverse their personalities are. And that tends to make it, well, it's stereotyping, and that's where the fandom characters come in. And, well, I tend to get annoyed about, because I like having the characters be as realistic as they can, or what actually works with a character. Sometimes I can do it myself, I will admit, but I try to make the characters as most of the personalities I can, or, like I said, my way of how I see the personalities, which somewhat go well with each other. I try to go based off research and stuff, like I'll search up people's personalities so I can understand it more. So when it comes to a character, like not having what the personalities is, and people tend to change up the personality, it really annoys me. Especially when it comes to characters I really like. Because Kemma, I love his character on the show. He's one of my favorite characters. I have multiple favorites. And if you know what a stan is, I kind of stan him. Like whenever I saw him, I was like, oh, Kemma. And got really happy, whenever I saw him, which was stan him. But with how people have him act in the fandom, I really hate him. Because, especially the one where he ignores Kiro and stuff, because I really like Kemma and Kiro's friendship and stuff. And I like shipping them, which, yeah, that's fine. But the thing is, with that personality type, they always put it with when he is shipped with Kiro. And that goes the same thing with Sakusa and stuff. It's like, they have it where they hate the character and all, but they're dating that character who they say they act like they hate, and it seems like they hate, to the point where it makes it toxic. And that's where the stereotyping comes in, and the one personality types. I hope you understand, and if you do anything, please don't hate on the video or something because you do some of these things, or get annoyed at my opinion and stuff. Like, if you don't mean to do it, or you do it and then, after this video and all, you realize that you don't want to do it anymore, I suggest, if you actually want to portray the characters with the, real personality and all, try searching it up and all, on the fandom wiki, see if that helps. And if you need to, rewatch the show or something, so you have a better understanding on it. So, yeah. Like I said before, I'm still gonna try to do my weekly uploads and stuff, and I hope you liked this video. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.